let's talk about this 2021 Lamborghini Urus, also known as the Lamborghini Urus in America. Ladies and gentlemen, I broke the cardinal rule of compounding and I took the money out, I took some profit out and bought a car, a used car. Instead of letting the money double and double again and double again, it's now being used towards a depreciating asset. Poor me. But let me tell you why I did it, what I love about this car, what I'd change about this car, and is it worth 200 grand, which is 100K more than the last car I had. Is it worth it? Let's find out. So 2021 Pearl Capsule Edition. That just means it's a little bit better than the base model. Pearl Capsule. Gets you gloss black accents everywhere. Gets you one of 3 different paint colors that are super nice. And that's one of the things I love about this car is this Arancio Borealis paint. We'll get a close-up of it in just a minute. It gets you better looking interior and dual pane glass for that quietness. So is this a luxury car? Is this a sports car? Is this a regular SUV? It's all of the above. And let me tell you what I love about it and what I hate about it. The number one, most important, awesomest thing about this car is the paint. And remember, if you haven't watched the video of my last car review, got over 100,000 views. That's the AMG Mercedes. That's the one I wrecked. I suggest you check out that video too. As I was saying, the number one favorite thing of this car is Arancio Borealis, which is Italian for orange, basically, paint job. This particular paint job came on the Pearl Capsules only, and it has this awesome looking gold flake in it. So in the shade, it's pretty dark orange, but in the direct sun, it pops. And I have stressed over and over and over and over again on all my videos how I love loud colors. And I'm so glad to now have a daily driver in a loud color. I am bored of gray, white, black. Let's go orange. I've owned some sports cars, nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. I still need that SVJ. I've got the Audi R8, a bright green 911. I've had Corvettes, and this particular car gets so much more attention than all of my sports cars. And it made me think, I think this world is softening up a little bit because people are giving oohs and ahs and thumbs up to an SUV a lot more than a 600 horsepower V10 supercar. I get way more, like I've only had the car for 4 weeks now, I think. And I've had more young kids come up to me and say, oh, is that a Lamborghini? Oh, I love it. And honestly, I mean, I love that about owning cool cars because you get to like give your passion, pass your passion down to kids and hopefully get them to work hard, bust their butt, because that's what I did to get to this position. So I love seeing kids get inspired by that sort of thing. And I'm just surprised that this, an SUV, you know, 4 seats, 4 doors, slow thing compared to the supercars, gets so much more attention. But I'm glad it does because I finally get a Lambo. It's not the V12, but I'm happy to have a Lambo in the stable now. Aside from the car having 641 horsepower and this bright orange paint job, the best possible thing any car can have, not just this car, but any and every car can have, is a huge set of carbon ceramic brakes. I mean, this is the size of my leg, the size of this brake. There's nothing better than stopping a car, a huge car, in no time. I mean, the pedal feel is amazing. Every car from now on I'm ever gonna buy is gonna have carbon ceramic brakes, and that's actually the reason I'm gonna get rid of the green 911. Those brakes suck. The reason I picked this particular vehicle is it only had 13,000 miles. It was priced just right at $204. It was the Pearl Capsule, which is a must on these cars if you're not getting the Performante, which was a little bit more expensive out of my price range. So the Pearl Capsule, and this particular one has a CPO, certified pre-owned, Selzioni is what they call it, Lamborghini certified pre-owned warranty. On Lambos, that means 1 year, unlimited miles, bumper to bumper warranty. And if you take it to the Lambo dealership a year from now for its annual service, they'll let you buy a 2nd year unlimited mile warranty. So here we have a Lambo with a 2-year unlimited mile warranty. Let's abuse this thing. I love that. Is this really 100K more, twice as good, more of an SUV? Well, for one reason, I'd say no. And for another reason, I'd say yes. The reason I'll say no is actually this lacks some of the technology that the AMG had. And it's pretty important technology. For one, it doesn't have a 48-volt mild hybrid electric assist. So from 0 to like 10, 0 to 20, the AMG was faster. It had that torque fill of the electric motor. But once the boost kicks in and the V8 is roaring, this one is more powerful and is faster. So pros and cons: this is faster, quarter mile, not faster, 0 to 10, 0 to 20. Pros and cons against the AMG again. This is missing a few key options as well. The ones I'm talking about is no cooled seats. The AMG had air-conditioned seats. This one only has heated seats. Pros and cons of the Pro Capsule. So the Pro Capsule comes with gloss black down here in the front fascia, gloss black around the wheels, and gloss black down here. So if you've seen some of the other Uruses, everything is painted the one color all the way down, all the way down. Some people, I don't know, they prefer the entire front painted in one color. I personally prefer the look with the gloss black, because when you see the painted one, they are the older Uruses. They're not the Pro Capsules. If you look at the Performantes, which is the next best one, it's blacked out or carboned out in the front and on the sides instead of all paint. So this, in my opinion, is one level better than the base models, but below the Performantes, but it has the look closer to the Performantes. Hence, that's why I like it better. So you're paying 200K for a car. You want all the tech in the world plus the looks. Well, you don't always get that with the Urus. You get more than 200K worth of looks. I've had multiple people think it was worth 500 grand. One dude came into the bank that I was parked outside and was like, yeah, I paid 700. You like my new car? I paid 700 for it, making a joke. A lot of the people, they don't really understand it's only 200K only, right? But it does give off the vibe that is more expensive. So that probably alone is worth the price of entry. But the technology leaves a little bit to desired. A couple other things that's missing. The rear view camera on this thing is, for being a 2021, is garbage. The 360 camera on it is non-existent, and the rear view is still pretty grainy. My Mercedes, same year, 2021, had a way better camera system. And also, the Mercedes had massaging seats. Now, massaging seats are cool and all, but I would much rather have the hot interior of this than just some massaging seats. So let me show you around. This is how you know it's a Pro Capsule. It has the dual pane windows. And honestly, luxury-wise, quiet-wise, this thing is quieter at highway speeds, at street speeds, than the AMG was, which is surprising. I always figured Mercedes were the quietest cars I'd ever driven until I got into this particular car. But turn sport mode on, turn Corsa race mode on, this thing is way loud. Welcome to the interior of a Pro Capsule Arancio Borealis Lamborghini. I love the interior of this car more than any other car I've ever been in. I'm gonna get you in my feelings now. My favorite thing is pulling up somewhere with the windows down so you can see all this orange piping, all this orange leather popping. People are breaking their necks to look inside this car to see who is driving it because the orange pops. Then you look inside and bam, there's more orange. Bam, there's all this Alcantara leather everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. The steering wheel is so thick and good, and orange stitching here with a little Italian flag, and nothing beats looking at a Lamborghini symbol. You got it here. You got a big old fat Lamborghini symbol there. It says Lambo up here, so if you're taking selfies, you can look extra with the Lambo behind you. It says Urus, the back seat to match, carbon throughout. It feels every bit of 200K sitting in this cabin. You even have the floor mats to match the seats. So the cockpit of the Urus, they styled it after a fighter jet. That's Lamborghini's styling, and it has been for a decade or longer, like a fighter jet. You gotta flip the switch to start the car, put it in manual mode, and we're off, bro. You got your sport mode, race mode, sand, off-road, and snow. You've got your ego mode, which is your personal mode. You can have suspension, steering, traction control in whatever mode you want. And just like a fighter jet, this is how you go in reverse. It's like going, let's fly. So I love that about this car. And in case you didn't know, all of this is in Italian. Corsa, sabbia, terra, neve, anima. I don't know what any of it means. I just know the English translation now. So I used to think the AMG had the best sound system I'd ever heard. It's got this Bang & Olufsen upgraded sound system, and it absolutely yells. I've never heard crispier, better sounding subwoofers and tweeters than any other car I've been in. And when you turn it on, they come out. And there it is. So that gives you like this awesome surround sound in here. With the dual pane windows, when the windows are closed and the music is up, you're in a concert hall. You really, really are. I know there's some cars with some good sound systems, and this is in the top. I guarantee it. One of the major pluses about buying this particular car, why I kind of jumped on it as much as I did, is it's got over $10,000 in necessary modifications. And they're not really modifications, but this entire car is covered in PPF, front to back, top to bottom. I've never owned a car with PPF in my life. And all of my cars have a smidge of rock chips, and it does annoy me. And I always was just kind of too cheap to buy PPF on all my cars. But now that I've experienced the vehicle with PPF, I think it's a must from now on. If you look closely, it's there. You see that? And I mean, it's all over the car. You got to really look to find it. Like you can look right here in the corner, maybe see it a little bit, but the whole thing is covered. There's not a scratch, not a dent. You can park it in the middle of a parking lot somewhere. People can open their door into it, and the PPF does this job. I absolutely love that. This is a pretty high end and a really good install. Whoever did this in Atlanta, I don't know. It's a good job. I love it. And secondly, I've told you on all my videos how I love, they're sneaking in down here, but how I love laser jammers. This has already saved my butt one time on Highway 92 here in Atlanta, but it beeps when there's cops lasering you, and then it jams the signal. It tells you that we're going 0 miles an hour. So speed away, my friends. Get yourself a laser jammer. Remember my last video about the AMG, how it was missing one key feature? You still gotta close the doors like you're poor. They won't do it for you. Well, technology-wise, this has a beat now because I'm no longer poor. It has soft closed doors. I'm happy about that. And real quick, I know this might be corny. Pearl Capsule Edition comes with this orange stripe around the wheel. I dig it. Plus it's gloss black wheels. You know I hate matte. These are gloss, they shine. With the orange stripe, it's different. These are 23s. I used to have the biggest wheels in the family at 23s until my wife rolled up yesterday in her Escalade. Now it's got 24s. Yeah, see, I'm no longer the coolest in the family with the biggest wheels. The wife just got these yesterday. They came off a 2025 Escalade V. We've got the 2024, which originally came with 22s, but now it's got the 24s off of the 2025, and boy, does it look better. Let's ride. So you've got 3 modes that pretty much I've ever used. I haven't touched the bottom half. Street, which is quiet. You can't hear a thing that's outside right now. In fact, I mean, this car is very comfortable in street mode. It is like any other SUV. Very happy about that. Sport mode tightens it up a bit more. The suspension gets tighter. It holds the gear a little bit longer. And then Corsa, I don't know if you can hear this through the camera, but you don't hear any exhaust right now, right? Switch it to sport. You start to hear it a little bit. And Corsa race mode is way louder. So to go into gear, it's nothing over here. You just tap the upshift and you're in drive. Take the park and brake off. I've got it in manual. I'm gonna change my own gears and off we go. So we're in loud race mode right now. And the number one thing I gotta say about this car is like, this is how SUVs should be built. I've had a handful of SUVs now, and I am beyond surprised at like how sports car feeling they can make this feel handling wise. Like it's still as soft as any other car in street mode, but the suspension is like for a huge car. I mean, this thing weighs 6,000 pounds, I'm sure, but Lamborghini does a good job keeping their weight down, keeping their center of gravity down. And this thing handles about as good as any sports car I've ever been in. And it's a gigantic SUV. All right, off we go.
So I mean, the Escalade, as of right now, would have been like jumping all over the place. The suspension is all bouncy. This thing, way more stiff. In a good way. Like, it's not so stiff that you're mad it's a sports car, because it's nothing like that. It's still very, very comfortable. Corsa may be a little too loud. I'm not sure, I gotta look it up, but they might be piping in some sound through the speakers, or that's just how loud they make the induction noises. I don't normally drive in Corsa. I normally drive it in street mode. And this thing has air suspension. That's one of the major differences between the Performante and this one is the Perf has regular shocks and struts. This one has the air suspension. So it can tighten when you need it to tighten and be as comfortable as you need it to be. Like, frankly, I haven't driven the Perf, so I don't know if it feels as comfortable as this. I bet in like super sport mode, it's better handling than this. I get the feeling that with the fixed suspension of the Performante, it doesn't feel as comfortable as this. And for a daily driver, sometimes you need comfort. So normally I put it in sport mode. It's a perfect combination. Ooh, there's a cop right there. Good thing I stopped. It doesn't have massaging seats. It only has heated seats. Now, air-conditioned seats is an option on these cars. Mine just doesn't have it. I haven't had the need for air-con seats. I really don't use it that regularly, because I like opening the windows, dropping the top type stuff. So, and the rear view camera is pretty bad for a 2021. But none of that matters. All of that goes away because this drives so good, and you feel cool in it. Like, who cares if you have a massaging seat when you look this cool? To me, cool is way more important. There's that boost. That was 84 miles an hour. Bring out the orange matchy-match watch for this video.
So in closing, is this double an AMG Mercedes? Honestly, technology-wise, no. But styling-wise, 50 times yes. For that alone, I think it's worth every penny of double the AMG price. I absolutely love the styling of this, and if you know me, I need styling more than I need 0 to 60 1/4 mile time. If you're within a second or two of each other, all that's fast enough. But styling, that's what gets eyeballs, that's what gets people breaking their necks when you're cruising, and I absolutely love the styling of this car. It's worth every bit of 100K. So in essence, did I make the right choice? Spending double what my last car was this Urus worth every bit of it? You tell me in the comments. I think absolutely it looks 100 times better, so it's worth twice as much for that alone. So share this video with your friends, give me a thumbs up, follow for more. Love you guys, stay tuned for more.